In today's video, I want to talk about pride and guilt, which are quite tied together, along with all the other emotions such as fear, anxiety. These things are all built on a sense of separation, a sense of being a separate entity apart from the entire rest of existence, the entire world. Pride especially, let's talk about pride first. Pride is built on a foundation of a sense of doership, a sense of ownership of all that occurs. So all thoughts that arise, they are my thoughts. I am the one thinking these thoughts. All the actions that arise, I am the one that's doing all of these actions. All of the results that arise, I am the one who earned these results. It is my doing. It is me who has secured this result. It is me who has created this. And the me in this equation is just this body and this mind. This me, which claims the pride, is actually, it goes unnoticed. It is never investigated into. Because this me that is claiming all this stuff is itself the mind, and it's not the true self. And so when our sense of self is identified at the level of mind, that is what we call ego. And ego is at the root of pride. Ego is the sense of doership upon which pride is built. Right? So now, if the thoughts and the actions and the results are pleasant, there will be great pride as I created an amazing life and I'm the doer of this. I earned this. This is my doing. You see? So that generates pride and arrogance. And pride and arrogance is usually, it's in every one of us to a certain degree, but to a greater degree in others, depending on their degree of sense of ownership of everything that occurs, and a lack of humility, thinking oneself to be bigger than life itself, thinking one to be at the complete helm of everything, every single action that's arising. Okay, so that's great and all, right? Pride is fine when things are pleasant, but itself turns on you when there is a phase of life which is unpleasant. So you'll see that when the thoughts, the emotions, the actions, and the results turn into a slight negative side. And that is quite natural, right? You will have these ups and downs in life to quite literally wake you up to these truths. And so one who has great pride will then also have great fear and guilt. If you take great ownership of all your actions and you're really prideful when they're good, then naturally you will see certain negative thoughts, certain negative actions, and certain negative results that will also arise in life, just spontaneously. And then you will also have great ownership, a great sense of doership of those actions, of those results. And now that same pride will turn into guilt, and it will turn into anxiety, it will turn into fear. So this is the pleasure-pain cycle of the ego, which will never end unless you start to investigate what is it really that I am. And until you start to see that all that arises is actually happening spontaneously with nobody doing anything, nobody owning anything. Right now when thoughts arise, there's a great sense, these are my thoughts. Right now when actions happen, there's such a great sense, these are my actions. But if you're truly to investigate and look deeper into this, as we do on this channel, investigate into the nature of life and the nature of yourself, you will start to see that the self, what you truly are, is the pure witnessing of all that, the dream that is unfolding right before you, all the thoughts that are arising, all the actions that are happening. So that is you can say, the nature of pride and guilt, why they arise from a sense of separation, from a sense of being the separate entity, body, mind. Okay? And pride itself also, when it starts to, right, when the actions and the circumstances start to turn negative and pride becomes challenged, turns into guilt and fear, that is when now your sense of self starts to be shaken up. And now certain things need to be done to compensate for the lack of, like you feel yourself becoming a lesser being. You start to fear your own existence. So, right, certain things, when like your wealth starts to like wither away, there's a great sense of like, I am becoming a lesser self, lesser being. When somebody leaves you in a relationship, there's a sense of being incomplete, unwhole, being less. So pride is very, very shaky. Pride, when things are going well, seems to be, very solid and stern. But pride is actually the root cause of insecurity. So then what is the solution to all of this, right? In order to let go of pride and guilt, the same thing is necessary. It is to see what you truly are. It is to see that all just happens. It is to see yourself as the pure witnessing of what occurs. It is to see yourself and the thoughts that are arising, and the actions that are arising, and the results that are arising, and not take ownership of everything. They are no longer my thoughts. They are no longer my emotions. They're no longer my actions. They're no longer my results. Thoughts are here. Emotions are here. Actions are here. Results are here. And I am the pure witnessing of them. This itself brings up a great resistance in you, is because right now the pride is great. The sense of doership is great. So when I say this, it challenges your entire existence. And there's a resistance to like, why do I want to do this, And so this is where you kind of have to see for yourself, how much do you truly desire the truth? Or are you comfortable living in the pleasure-pain cycle of ego? Pride, guilt, happiness, sadness. So am I saying to not enjoy life, or am I saying to completely let go of, creating and achieving your goals? Not at all. You will see that it is when you actually start to let go of a sense of constant doership and ownership of your thoughts, of your actions, and you start to rest as the witnessing of these things. They still occur. So thoughts still occur. Actions still occur. Results still occur. But now there's no longer any ownership of them. It is just a witnessing. This is a balance you have to create for yourself over time, through practice and earnestness. But it will be seen that now life actually unfolds more effortlessly, because there is no sense of constant doership. A sense of doership creates a sense that I need to secure my well-being. I need to protect this and that. I need to protect my own worth and my own self. There's so much self-concern. And the motive of all your actions becomes selfishness. So actually letting go of a sense of ownership and a sense of doership, and inquiring into one's own nature of what I am, actually makes life flow. Things still happen. You can't stop the sun and moon from the cycle of sun rising and then moon at night. Like, you can't stop that. Just like you can't stop the actions that are occurring, the words that are flowing out of your mouth, the thoughts that may be happening. Even the action to try to do so is itself not your doing. It is being witnessed. So establish yourself as the pure witnessing consciousness of all that it is unfolding within you. It is unfolding where? Within you, within your consciousness. Consciousness isn't something that you own. It is what you are. And actually notice, like when you go about your day by day, how you truly have this tendency to take ownership of everything. There's an ownership of the thoughts that are arising, of being the thinker of them. But even the sense of being a thinker actually is witnessed within you, by you. When you are working on your goals, there's a great sense of doership of the actions that are unfolding, a great sense of ownership of the thoughts that are being thought. And because of that great sense of doership, you feel you separate. You feel like I have to figure out and achieve my goal, and I hope I do so. And this uncertainty of the future actually brings greater fear in your heart. Whereas once you're able to let this kind of stuff, let this sense of doership and ownership go, in other words, when you're able to let the ego go, or see it for what it is, it's staying established in your true nature as the witnessing. Now, the thoughts will still happen, the actions on your goals will still happen, the results and the achievement of your goals may or may not still happen. But you yourself will not be anxious. You yourself will not be attached to the results of the actions that are unfolding right now. You yourself will not have any anxiety about the uncertainty of the future. You will stay resting as the witnessing of what is going on. The witnessing is purely impersonal. The witnessing is not biased as to success or failure, as to health or illness. It is just a space-like existence, a space which allows anything. And because it allows anything and resists nothing, there is no suffering. So become more like this space, because it is ultimately what you are. So by doing this, you're not actually becoming something or creating something or doing something. You're actually just easing back into your true nature. And one thing to know is that by letting go of a sense of doership, it's not like your life will fall apart. Even now, when there's great sense of doership and ownership of everything that's occurring, you're still not actually doing anything. Okay, so having a sense of doership does not imply that you are the doer. That is the illusion that you are the doer. And now you're actually starting to see the truth that I am not. So this is where it may be kind of confusing, but try to contemplate this. Letting go of a sense of doership is not letting go of, the actions aren't going to be let go of. The actions still unfold. Life still unfolds. But a sense of doership, which was false, which was never true, which was actually just an assumption based on another deeper assumption of me being a separate entity, that is what dissolves. I still am here as the pure witnessing, and the contents within consciousness, within me, unfold as they previously were, but now with no anxiety or fear, no pride or guilt. So this itself is a radical transformation. This itself is the heart of spirituality. Seeing yourself as you are, as the pure witness. Even right now, if this is just an idea in your head, carry it with you. Just know this in the back of your mind. I am just the witness of what occurs, of what arises. And this itself will begin to purify your body-mind. This itself will start to wake you up to this truth. And know that any reluctance to follow this teaching is the sense of pride. That is what is causing it. Nobody's forcing you to practice this. Nobody's forcing you to believe in this. But ultimately know that any reluctance towards this teaching is being caused by the pride which exists still. And that is ego. And if right now it feels like, that is the case for you, then know that right now the ego still has such a strong pull over your being. It is purely identified as ego. So then you are coming across this video, you're still watching this far, so that means that it's already on the way out. You're already coming to a greater recognition of truth. So even if that's the case, if there's a great sense of doership, pride, that itself is on its way out, regardless of the resistance that may be here or not. So good news. So to summarize, pride and guilt, fear, anxiety, they're all built on a foundation of me being a separate entity, this body-mind. This assumption is going completely unnoticed right now. Once you start to investigate into this through self-inquiry and the many other videos on this channel, right, you will start to wake up to what you truly are. And with it, the sense of doership and the sense of ownership of everything that arises and is constantly coming and going will cease to be the most evident thing. Because right now, that is what an illusion is. When you're in the illusion, you don't think you're in the illusion. So recognizing what I am as a pure witnessing, the sense of doership and ownership will start to dissolve slowly. And with it will go pride, will go guilt, fear, anxiety. But with it, life will not go, right? Like actions will not go. They will still occur without the sense of doership, the sense of ownership. Now you're able to rest as the pure witnessing of what occurs, and then allow what unfolds to unfold. Living life from your true position, rather than from a fabricated self point of view. Being the screen of the movie, rather than being identified as a movie character, a limited little movie character, which believes it's in control, but it's not. Okay, so practice this. If you want to go deeper into inquiry and investigating your true nature and self-abidance, then watch my free masterclass. It's called the Ego to Presence Masterclass. I hope it brings great value to you. It's jam-packed for an hour. Okay, so happy viewing, happy practicing. I will see you in the next video.